Yo, sit yo stankin' ass down and tune into the E.I.T.H.R podcast. My daddy D.Cal is talking. Bitch.
So, let's start with the E.I.T.H.R.
You're listening to the E.I.T.H.R podcast with D.Cal.
And happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It is D.Cal hosting the E.I.T.H.R podcast here from the GNS HQ in Northern California. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 74. I appreciate you spending your time here listening to what it is that I have to say. I want to say thank you to all the new followers that I got on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter at the same handle, which is the E.I.T.H.R, T-H-E, E.I.T.H.R. You can also find previous episodes on YouTube. Just follow our parent station or our parent company, the GNS Inc., T-H-E-G-N-S-I-N-C, on YouTube. Subscribe, and I appreciate that. And you can see any of the episodes that we previously done. If you want to chat while I am live during the podcast, you can just download the Spreaker app, S-P-R-E-A-K-E-R, create a profile, find the E.I.T.H.R podcast, and then you'll be able to chat with I live while we're here. Any of the subjects and topics that we're talking about, you can see them on the Instagram, you can see them on the Twitter, or again, you can just go to the YouTube page and just comment on what you feel you agree with, disagree with, maybe want to improve. Maybe want to add in your 2 cents, and we can have the discussion carried on from there. So I do appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. So, for those who are returning, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Episode number 24. So the podcast has reached different countries. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess it's a great thing, obviously, but all this really started with an idea back when I was doing Uber. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, Chastity. She's also the chairman for the clothing line Pistol 4-Piece. I apologize for that. And we were just having a good conversation in San Francisco, and like I said, it started from an idea of what I may want to do to actually spawning up a whole bunch of different ideas that we are doing. The elephant in the room, that's what the E.I.T.H.R stands for. We talk about topics and discussions that not everybody is okay with discussing with their peers because there's a lot of short-sighted, one-sided, loud-talking conversations, especially on social media. Here, we try to give everything both sides of the coin, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. So you don't necessarily have to agree with what's being said, but at least you're going to be a little bit more informed with what is being said. So you have a little bit more of a reason why you disagree or don't disagree. I feel too many outlets out there, they give you what they know is going to stir the pot. Every now and then it's fun to poke the bear, but then when that bear stands up and begins to attack, everybody wants to run scared, and ignorance becomes bliss at that point. Well, it's cool to be ignorant on certain things, but a lot of things that has to do with our lifestyle, I feel, need to be addressed and put in the forefront. And that's what we try to do here at the E.I.T.H.R podcast. So we like to do motivational things, inspirational, and we also get to give shout outs to people. So one person I'm going to go ahead and shout out is the E.I.T.H.R podcast. We're doing a very first segment, and it's called What's Your Mile? And it's sponsored by the clothing line that you can go and check out at mile.today, MILE.TODAY. And the purpose of What's Your Mile is what obstacle, what milestone have you achieved, what goal have you been able to accomplish that you thought was going to be a little too difficult. And here you are. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And something inspirational, motivational that I do want to drop for you guys before we get started with the podcast is the only person who's in your way is the person that you see in the mirror. I know a lot of motivational speakers, they get on stage and they have these $30,000 suits and these 50 million Brazilian dollar watches and jewelry, and they tell you a whole bunch of shit that you think goes in one ear, not the other. But ladies and gentlemen, every vehicle has different horsepower and every vehicle goes at a different speed. Or because somebody surpassed you or somebody's going faster than you doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to make it to your destination. It's just not your time to shine. But everyone has a time to shine. You just got to be patient and wait for yours. And don't knock somebody else's hustle who's doing their thing either. We're going to be right back.
Hi everyone, this is Kelsey and I'm the Vice Chief of Editing of the World Update. We're the branch of the GNS Inc. that are going to be responsible for presenting you with encouraging and uplifting news and updates that are happening within the local, regional, and global things that are going on. We feel there's enough bad news being broadcast in our lives, so why not hear something good? Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at _the_U_. Let's update and uplift.
Okay, so shout out to Kelsey and the World Update at _the_U_. Appreciate that. Another branch of the GNS thing that we're going to be bringing to you guys, if you heard right there in the clip, is another project that we got working on in the books, and hopefully it'll be coming to us before summertime, so we can get a little positivity during the heat. One thing I'm going to talk about, I was scrolling through TikTok. And if anyone knows TikTok is one hell of a rabbit hole, right? You keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But it was a duet that I did, and it was an interesting topic where there's a congressman talking to a woman, and they're asking about when will the schools do gender recognition, right? Where there's going to be courses and classes, for the gay, lesbian, trans community and things in history of that. So the gentleman was, the woman was speaking about how, the education system is being so diverse and open, and we believe that everyone needs some type of equality and a voice, and everyone needs to be represented, and we're proud to be heading in that direction. So my man asked a question about, okay, well, when will gay, lesbian, trans, queer community be represented? And I don't understand the question. And it's it's one of those things, man. I feel when politicians get stuck, they play stupid. And it's a way for, it's a play on words. And I think all people should be represented in community, in life, no matter where you go. And you're always going to have people who feel like this is inappropriate. I don't want my child, my family to be exposed. And you have that God-given right. But my question in the description was, at what age or what point in schools should kids be exposed to it? If the gentleman said, or he asked, what about junior high school? And she says, we don't have anything going on for that age. He said, okay, what about high school? Yeah, we don't understand that's an appropriate age time. And he happened to be a former educator for 10 and a half years. And listen, man, anybody who's ever been to middle school, junior high school, you fucking get it. You see people who are living different lifestyles. You see people who are experiencing different lifestyles. You see people who are curious about different lifestyles. And typically high school is the point where you get to that level where you start feeling things and you're not really too sure of what, and you're not too sure of why. Now, there are some people who experience this in the earlier stages in life. There are some people who experience this at later stages of life. Of course, there's no set time where the body just kicks in and starts becoming curious. But around high school is when kids start to experiment. It feels as we get further on in life, the younger they get, because they have access to information and to see things. And I'm not going to say kids are becoming smarter. I just feel that adults are becoming lazier than when it was when we were growing up in the 90s, right? Growing up in the East Bay area, I remember not necessarily judging people by any of their preferences. Did I make inappropriate jokes and jokes that were probably offensive? I most likely did. Yeah, sure, I can admit that. Did I necessarily say it to people's faces? There was one instructor that I made a comment, but I was so young and ignorant, I didn't understand how offensive that comment be. And to this day, I still want to go find that teacher and apologize to her for that. But in many cases, kids are ignorant, and we said things because we thought it was cool. We thought it was going to make us popular. We wanted to make people laugh because why? We wanted to be accepted. And these are points in life where we do stupid shit to be accepted by those who we want to be accepted by. So if you give it an opportunity for kids to learn, I feel you're going to have a less of a time of kids struggling with identity. They should also be able to express these things at home without certain phobias causing them to stunt their growth and stunt their knowledge, right? One of my friends, Bill Richards, made a comment a couple years ago when I made the question of, what was something that you remember me by, or something of that nature. I don't remember exactly what the question was, but he was one of the few people to remind me of how diverse I was when speaking to people and talking to people and hanging out with people. I didn't have just one group I kicked it with. I kicked it with everybody. I talked to everybody. Did I know certain people were gay? I knew they were different. But guess what? That was still my partner. That was still my homie. That was still my homegirl. We didn't kick it like that. But at the same time, I didn't stop them from being my friend. It didn't stop me from being their friend. So you're going to get situations, man, where you have people who don't like you because of your preference. And that's because it doesn't agree with what they have been taught and raised to believe what is true or not. Right? I liken the discrimination of people based on their sexual preference similar to judging people based on their religious preference. Same thing on basing people based on their ethnicity, culture, and race and color. That's my perspective. And this is a very sensitive topic for me because I have really close friends who happen to be non-heterosexual. And for me, I don't see a problem. Listen, understanding something doesn't make you what you're trying to understand. Understanding something gives you a better idea of what it is you don't understand. And I think the fear people have is they don't want to understand something that doesn't agree with them. There is one of my old bosses when I was doing security. She said that she knew something was different with herself when she was younger, but she didn't know what it was, and she was ashamed, and she was embarrassed, and she felt a certain type of way. So she grew up, excuse me, got married, had children, but something deep down with her, it wasn't complete. She loved her partner, she loved her children, but it was something within her that she just didn't have as a truth. And then one day, she realized what I'm feeling this whole time that I have been fighting is exactly who the fuck I am. And so when we grow up and we're teaching kids to look at it from this angle and look at it from this perspective, and nothing else is, you're not only programming kids what to believe that you agree with, but you're also shunning and you're also denying those kids who feel different to accept that they're different, right? I mean, we can go back in history, right? 15th century, free-thinking women. If a woman didn't agree with what a man thought was right, shit, that bitch was killed, right? Burned at the stake, tied and thrown in the river, thrown in the lake, thrown in the pond to drown, right? If a woman turned out to be more intelligent than the man, she was a witch. It's the small-minded thinking, man. I mean, listen, I told people, I was never born with a choice to be heterosexual or homosexual. I am heterosexual. Just like I didn't have a choice to be born with the culture, the race, the color. I didn't have a choice of my parents, what region. I didn't have a choice in those things. That's who I am. So individuals who are different than what society says you should be, they didn't sit back up one day and say, you know what, I think I want to get jumped because I like someone who looks like me, gender-wise. That's not who it is. And a very great friend of mine, I don't want to say their person's name without their permission, once said to me, when it comes from a male perspective, gay men don't necessarily want you. You're not their type. You're straight. So all the phobia that we have is A, ignorant thinking, ignorant belief, or B, there's probably something deep down inside of you that you're fighting and you don't want to accept because society would judge you the way you judge others. So that extra macho masculinity bullshit that you try to bash and hate people with, most of us can sit back and say, okay, he has a secret he doesn't want coming out because you're going too hard in the paint to go against it. See what I'm saying? Most homosexual men are never going to pursue a heterosexual man out of respect for you not being that type. You're not that demographic, buddy. You're not their flavor. They might find you attractive, but they're not going to cross the line out of respect for you. This is what she explained to me. Now, if you give them a sign or signs where it's clear cut that you are interested, then Tiger's going to prowl a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So with kids don't know who's a drag queen. They don't know what a drag queen is. They don't know what gay is. Kids say shit that they hear grown-ups say and not understand what the meaning is. So when they say it in school or whatever and get in trouble, they're saying words that they can't comprehend. And parents, your reaction, your response is what teaches them, what shapes and molds them. They don't get it. So by exposing them, quote unquote, you're not doing harm, but you are if you exclude them from at least learning about it. You gotta understand, I haven't seen too many drag queen, homosexual, trans queer do any mass shooting or burglaries, robberies, or drive-bys. You know who I have seen? Angry, suppressed people who are confused. So if we continue to suppress them, oh wait, that might be another American problem. Interesting.
Most t-shirts are simply cool to look at and or look in. Well, so are ours. But ours also aim to send a message. They aim to put a name on obstacles that once stood in your way and aren't there anymore. Struggles that you turned into successes and crushed. You made it look easy. Shop at YOUR.today. YOUR.today. www.YOUR.today. A GNS collection.
I thought that was kind of fun. All right, so we're getting into something brand new here at the E.I.T.H.R podcast. This segment is called What's Your Mile? And I really am looking forward to seeing how this translates with other people because, listen, from someone who literally went from a struggling situation to currently where I am now, nobody's going to be harder on me than myself. So I feel that I haven't accomplished shit yet. I haven't done anything yet. I feel as if I'm still stagnant in the mud. And I know a lot of people do, especially in this COVID situation that we're in, right? I don't give a damn who you believe is in charge or who you believe is responsible. You're never going to pacify somebody with the right answer. Because no matter what, if it doesn't agree with their answer, it's wrong. But understand something. Compete but never compare. And I've said this many a time. So I've been able to overcome an idea that I had 5 years ago in just a conversation to actually make things happen. I feel a lot of people take a look at how long it has been. Then you try to process how long it may take. And then you look at how far that's gonna be. And you immediately get turned off with how long that time equates to. It's very common to do something like that. But then you have resentment for yourself because you sit back and say, well, if I would have done it that long ago, I would be where I want to be now. But then the intimidation factor is it's going to take that time to make it happen. Right? And then we get discouraged from doing things. I want to ask you though, if it takes you 5 years to get something, and you sit back and give yourself an ass if you do it 5 years ago, but you get discouraged that it's going to take you 5 years to get where it's at. Imagine how sick you're going to be in 5 years from the ground. And you look back and say, damn, I probably started this 10 years ago. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. The first step is the hardest because you don't know where to plant your foot. And there is no right way to do it. Just fucking do it. Right? That's it. So what's your mile? What is your make it look easy? What is something that you feel you want to accomplish, but you haven't because for whatever reason, you're just in your own head? Is it eating properly? Is it organizing something at work? Is it mending a relationship with a relative? Is it letting go some trauma? None of this is going to be a cakewalk. Don't get that twisted. But it's going to be an experience. And also understand something. When making something look easy, you made it look easy. Lord knows it fucking wasn't easy. But it is simple. Right? When you make something look easy, people sit back and look at you and say, damn. There's an admiration because they see a task that you accomplished that they knew they would not be able to do. But you kicked that task in the ass. And now it's walking funny. So when that task now sees you approaching, it tells all the other tasks in your way, hey, did you realize this is a bad motherfucker? I tried to whip his ass all day long. I mean, I was beating him down for 10 years. And one day he just hit back and somebody came up and gave him some help. And next thing you know, he gained momentum and the grounds in the fight changed. He knocked my ass clean out. Anybody who ever took something that was challenging or difficult and you accomplished it, we all know that feeling that when you look back at it, you laugh at it. Because the only thing that was really stopping you was you from stopping it. Right? And I'm telling you right now, if you really want to make something look fucking easy, get yourself an accountability partner. And you can think of this segment as your accountability partner. I'm telling you, when you write it down and you look at it and you say it out loud and you don't type it, you don't tweet it, you don't text it, you handwrite the motherfucker, print or cursive, because as you're writing it, you're constantly thinking about it. It's a little Jedi mind trick for y'all. You're constantly thinking about it as you're writing it. And instinctively, when you're done writing it, you look back at it, you read it again, and you stare at it. It's just human nature. This is what you do. But you're embedding it in your mind that you're going to accomplish it. We're going to do this segment every single Friday. And I would love to see comments on the social media or the YouTube page regarding what is your mile. Now, the next thing I want to get into. I'm a very private person. Anyone who knows me knows that. I have had this philosophy since 2000 and something, man. The less I tell people, the more I ain't got to explain shit. I've never been a in front of the camera guy. I'd much rather be a behind the camera guy. And no, motherfuckers, I am handsome. So it's not like I have a face for radio or podcasting. It's just, I've never necessarily been the attention seeker. That's just never been me. That's not my MO. That's not how I get down. Right? I'm more of the, if you see me, you see me. So when you see my posts, you know who I am. You know what it is. You know what to do. But I don't like the attention. I'm more mild-mannered. I'm more quiet text. I'm more best kept secrets. And that's me. But in the world of social media, I understand. The more people see you, the more you'll grow. I understand that. I don't like it. Because I'm old school with what works for me. But hey, you have to adapt or die. So maybe a couple months ago, I finally got me a TikTok account. Hate the shit, don't like the shit, can't stand this shit. But I got one. And now I'm on that motherfucking rabbit hole almost every damn day. I'm on my TikTok probably as much as I am on Twitter, which is more than I am on Instagram, which is significantly more than I am on Facebook. because I have different uses for each one of those. So Gary Vee and a couple of other people will sit back and tell you, man, listen, if you want to grow your brand, if you want to expand, you got to put out content. And the content isn't necessarily for your own personal, but it's for your reach. It's for your clientele. It's for your market. It's your way of reaching more people to get more familiar with you. And it's a great way to express yourself. So I plan on doing more content with my social media. So if you choose to, ladies and gentlemen, the TikTok is the parent company. It's at the GNS Inc. At THEGNSINC. The same as the YouTube page. Okay? The YouTube and the TikTok has the same. The GNS also has its own Twitter account. The GNS also has its own Instagram. The GNS also has its own Facebook. Okay? But I try to set each business up with its own identity. So if and when I ever come to the chance to find a partner that I trust, has the ability to carry the load the way I see, share the same vision, they can then run that account. They can be quote unquote in charge of that particular branch of the GNS tree. Just like you heard Kelsey with the World Update. Okay? One of my trust issues is having a partner. Anyone who knows me in the personal world understands the last time I had a partner, shit got fucked up. Why? Because my partner basically planned on me being the strength, the breadwinner, the number one and the number two, while they sat back with their feet up and get taken care of. But when it came down to me actually needing help and assistance, my partner could not tell me, I no longer have the heart to do this. We need to find someone else to replace me. Instead, lack of a better term, I was sabotaged. So I have a trust issue when it comes to trusting people, when it comes to something that's important to me. So if I am saying I trust you with this, motherfucker, that's a medal. And if I take it away from you, do not ever expect to get anything back from me. That's the one chance, the one shot that you have. What did Eminem say? You're gonna get one shot? What, you gonna take it? Okay, so that's it. But I need to do more content where my face is seen so people understand who I am. I'm not just some robot. I'm not just some bot account. I'm not just some fake account. I'm an actual live person. So that's also going to be what's my mile. For the next week, I'm going to put out more content so people can see who I am, get familiar with who I am, and it's just not posting video and pictures and memes. But I love being private. I love being private. My social media life and my real life are two different. And one of my biggest pet peeves is motherfuckers get the two mixed up and they can't differentiate that stuff for themselves. They think they're the shit on social media, so they think they're the shit in real life. I don't want to have that happen to me. So that's my goal. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to the E.I.T.H.R podcast. Again, social media, E.I.T.H.R. YouTube, TikTok, at the GNS Inc. And we will get in touch with you guys again next week for the podcast. I do appreciate your time and effort. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. And happy Valentine's to everybody this weekend. Be good.